Genesis chapter 5, and we're going to read from verse 22. The Bible says, and Enoch walked with God after he begot Methuselah 300 years, and begot sons and daughters, and all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. He is on record of being translated by God because of his walk with God that was so well-pleasing to God, and God took him. I want us to go to Hebrews chapter 11. Let's pick the other side of the same story. From verse 5, the Bible says, by faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found because God had translated him. For before his translation, he had his testimony that he pleased God. Now look at that. God shows us here that the reason Enoch walked with God in such a pleasing manner was not because he was God's favorite, or because God wanted to give us a story that we should look at. But here we're told that Enoch was a man of faith. And we know without faith you cannot please God. So we know the essence of Enoch pleasing God. It was his life of faith. And if Enoch could please God by his walk of faith, it means that every one of us can be well pleasing to God. Why? That's the reason why God gave us faith in the first place. That means that it's God's plan, it's God's desire for your life to be pleasing to God. Yes. And this is why you can desire it, because it's God that put it in us, and He shows us what faith can do. Faith can make you to please God, because without faith no man can please God. You see, many times you find those whose prayer is to please God, but it's so clear. You want to please God, walk by faith. Yes, if you walk by faith, God is going to be so pleased with you, because He was pleased with Enoch. He was satisfied with Enoch, and his approval is so clear that God translated him, that he did not see death, like the Bible says. Meaning that faith that God has put in your heart is not only that which God expects you to deal with the day-to-day circumstances of life. I've been sharing a lot with you on these lines of thoughts, and but it shows us that faith is more than that which God expects us to use in handling our day-by-day processes and situations that come our way. But even our very relationship with God is dependent on faith, because without faith we cannot be pleasing to God. And he's not referring to the residual faith that God deposits in your heart, but is referring to the practical faith, the faith that you use. The Bible says Enoch walked with God. The Bible doesn't say Enoch had faith. He walked with God. Enoch practiced that life of faith. He practiced it, because to walk, it means to act. Enoch acted by faith. He acted by faith. This should be something that should be your delight. Yes, this should be your delight. And this is why, you see, when God looks at a man of faith, his response is, delight thyself in the Lord, and I grant you all the desires of your heart. Because when your delight is clear, that your delight is in God, there's nothing that you're going to desire that is not on God's mind. No, there's nothing. Because at times we find those that ask to say, Is it true that God can give a man all his desires? Yes, he did it. With Abraham, God gave him his desire. He did it with Solomon. God asked Solomon, what do you want? And Solomon said, give me an understanding heart. And God gave him the wisdom that made him the best. So that means that it shows us that not only is God willing, but God is prepared, and he has set forth the platform wherein you can walk with God, and you know that you walk with God, and you know that God is with you.